Hey everybody, Pete Werner here with this week's episode of the DCL show, which is really more dining reviews right now because we're on board the Wonder. And as you can see, I'm at Palo again, this time for brunch. And very excited. Palo Brunch, always a highlight of any Disney cruise, and I'm looking forward to this. And based on how good our dinner was, I'm almost certain this is going to be a great meal. But before we get to our review, just a reminder, this vlog, along with all the content we produce, brought to you by dreamsunlimitedtravel.com, of which I am one of the owners. If you like our content, please show your support. Book your next Disney Cruise Line vacation with dreamsunlimitedtravel.com.
Okay, so this was my first time having Palo Brunch, and so when they said just order anything, you didn't have to, like with the dinner, how you have to stay with the prefix within your categories. I just started ordering anything that looked good. And about halfway through, I wasn't sure how I was still eating, but I just kept on eating because it was all very, very, very good. So I started with the strawberry waffles with whipped cream and mixed berries. And I kind of wondered when I ordered it, I'm like, it's not going to be a Mickey waffle. It's just going to be a round waffle. It was a Mickey waffle. It was a giant Mickey waffle, though, that filled the whole plate. I had a little bit of strawberries in the middle, and then he offered some strawberry sauce as well. It was fantastic. I almost, when I started cutting into it, I thought, oh, this is a little, like, chewy almost, but then I realized it was just the knife, because the knife wasn't cutting through anything on any of my plates, but it was very, very good. It wasn't overdone, it wasn't underdone, it was a perfect waffle.
How was the strawberries?
The strawberries, the one that I had in the middle was good because I declined the strawberry sauce.
Aggressively.
However, the whipped cream was probably the best whipped cream I've tasted in my entire life. So that was suited me just fine. I then moved on to my cheese and ham frittata, and it tasted good. However, it was all egg. There was very, very, very little ham. There was very, very, very little cheese. It was all egg. My own preference, I would have preferred more meat in it. But it was good. It was very good. They were cooked absolutely perfectly. Again, they weren't overdone. They weren't runny or creamy or anything like that. It was cooked perfectly. I then had the calzone, and this is filled with prosciutto, basil, bell peppers, and mozzarella cheese. As that's what the menu tells me it was filled with. Mine was filled with air. It came out and it was ginormous. It was a ginormous pillow on my plate. And I thought, oh my, like how I will never in probably 3 days be able to eat this because it was so large. But then when I cut into it, it deflated. And I saw that, yes, it was a lot of air. There was actually only one small slice of meat inside of it. It tasted good, but again, I feel like it should have had more filling in it. But what was there did taste very good. They cooked it very well, and it looked beautiful. The last thing that I had was the lasagna. This was amazing. It was a smaller portion. I probably could have even ate another plate of it because it was great. The noodles I felt like were maybe slightly a little bit overdone, but the taste was fantastic. It was fantastic. I also tasted a few bites of somebody else's chicken parm, and it was fantastic as well. But for me, definitely the lasagna was the winner overall as far as everything that I ate today. As for the desserts, again, they brought out everything. I personally tried the warm amaretto chocolate cake, and it had an espresso gelato, and it was very good. I truly only ate a few bites. because at this point I'm not really sure where it would go if I continued to eat, because I am still completely stuffed. And on top of all of that, we had breads, we had pastries, they brought out mimosa to start. There was a lot going on. There was a lot of food on this table. It was an amazing meal, beautiful view, wonderful company. It was a great meal.
I ate a lot of food here today. Not nearly as much as some other people that are sitting near me. So I went with an apple cinnamon waffle. I feel like the waffle was good. It was enormous. And I highly recommend getting the little apple compote on the side. Unlike Elaine, I accepted the fruit into my life, and it changed me for the better. And so that was good, but I would recommend, if you're like, oh, I'm just going to order this one thing, don't do that, because it was good, but we've all had a waffle before, come on. And then I also split the calzone with Craig, and I agree with Elaine. It was like a party animal balloon that immediately deflates the second you pet it. And it had very little on the inside, which was fine because it looks like way too hearty. It wasn't your neighborhood pizza calzone. It's not a Giorgio's pizza calzone, so get over yourself. It's not as dense. And then I also, under the forced guidance of Craig, got the panette pasta with smoked salmon, baby spinach, tarragon, cracked black pepper, and cream. And this was actually like really, really, really good. But I feel like pasta and saucy things right after all this stuff was like, it was very heavy for me. But it was actually like, the pasta was really creamy, very nice, very nicely cooked. So I'm glad I did try that. And then I feel like I was jealous of the lasagna that I saw everybody eating, because that looked really good. But desserts came. Oh, no, wait. He brought out the flatbreads. And the flatbreads were also really good. They were nice and, like, the slices were nice and tiny. And I really enjoyed the spicy Italian sausage of the three of those. And then desserts were served. All desserts were served. The three that I tried were the limoncello almond torte with citrus salad, the pastry with clotted cream. That one was fine. I actually didn't feel like it had a really strong limoncello flavor to it, so it was only okay. But I had a little taste of the tiramisu, which is what Craig got, and that was very nice. I also tried the 5-layered pistachio cake. I thought the cake was cooked really good. A little light on the pistachio flavor, which is what some people might want. But for me, the winner of the desserts, I think, was the vanilla berry panna cotta, which was served with the strawberry basil sorbet, which was out of this world. Craig ended up ordering like a little trio of 3, so I ate a second one, and I don't regret that at all.
I have a lot of regrets from this meal, mostly how much I ordered, but I'll deal with that on my own later. I started with the antipasti selection as well as other people did, but I went with the seafood version with Alaskan king crab legs, the crab claws, lemon marinated shrimp, the marinated green lip mussels, ahi tuna, and then it was served alongside saffron aioli and cocktail sauce. Of all of the seafood on here, I thought the spiced ahi tuna was the best. It was very spicy, and it felt like it was very fresh tuna. But the king crab legs were also nice. The only thing I didn't really like was the crab claw. Wasn't a fan of that. Then after having that, I moved on to the calzone that I split with Rhino, and much like Elaine and what Rhino have already said, it was just way too airy. The fillings inside, the prosciutto and the bell peppers, were really tasty, but they just needed to multiply what was inside by about 3 times, and then it would have been a lot nicer. But the bread was good, and I feel like if you want to try their actual pizza style foods, just go with the flatbreads, because the margarita, goat cheese and sun-dried tomato, and spicy Italian sausage were all fantastic. I had 2 pieces, I think, of all of those, and I think I'd probably actually lean with the goat cheese and sun-dried tomato is my favorite, but the spicy Italian sausage was also very, very close. Then moving on to the entrees, as Rhino said, he ordered the panette pasta with smoked salmon, baby spinach, tarragon, cracked black pepper, and cream, and I also took a couple bites of this. bursting with smoked salmon flavor, and the pasta itself was nice, but I feel like you can only eat so much smoked salmon before it becomes overwhelming, so a full portion of this might be a little too much, but it was nice having a couple bites at least. I then had the veal saltimbocca as well, and I thought this was really delicious. It was seasoned very nicely, had a peppery flavor to it, a little over salty because of the bacon that was wrapped around the veal, but it conceals the cries from the dead baby cows that you're consuming. So whatever you have to do to get the job done, that's what you have to do. And then being balanced out with that marsala sauce, just it all hit the spot. And it wasn't a huge portion, so you can still feel light actually eating it. Highly recommend. Would not recommend the grilled cut sirloin steak with thyme herb butter, green beans, and the Barolo wine potatoes. It was way under seasoned. It was basically just like eating, I would say, buttery meat, but not in a good way. It was cooked perfectly, medium rare for me, but there was just no flavor at all in this steak, unlike the steaks you'd get here for dinner. So skip it. In a sirloin steak, it's not even that good of a cut anyways, so I would just pass on that. But do not pass on the Parmesan crusted chicken breast topped with the San Marzano tomato basil sauce and mozzarella cheese. It is so delicious. It is my favorite thing at Palo Brunch. It's chicken parmesan, but it's just really well done and mastered. And rather than serving it with a pasta, it's actually served with the risotto, so that way you don't have that wateriness that sometimes you get. And the red sauce here is so good. You can't go wrong with any of the choices except the ones I told you could go wrong with. So avoid that, and you'll have a good meal. I had the tiramisu, and I really enjoyed that. It says traditional tiramisu, but I wouldn't call it traditional because it is served in like a chocolate shell. I love the tiramisu inside, but I don't like chocolate that much, so I didn't eat any of the shell that it was in, but the tiramisu inside was very delicious. The vanilla berry panna cotta definitely was the highlight, along with the strawberry basil sorbet. It was so refreshing. The panna cotta was nice and jiggly, but that vanilla bean flavor was just bursting through. Felt like you were just eating straight vanilla. I enjoyed that. And then I had a trio of espresso gelato, and this is a highlight. I love gelato. I love espresso. Put them together. Got a good dessert.
Well, that's my phone.
You don't need that phone. It's okay. Great meal.
All right, so for my brunch, I started with the antipasto selection, which is sliced prosciutto, sliced capa, sliced something. I can't read half these words. It's an antipasto plate. It was good. Nothing exceptional about it. Everything was fresh. It was good. It was good. Moving on to eggs Benedict for my next course of what felt like 800 courses of food. We've been served an enormous amount of food here. I mean, it's like old style Palo Brunch if you were going up there, and except they're bringing it to you. And there was so much food put on this table, stuff we didn't order. Like, yeah, try some of this too. Which I'm glad they did, because it really did give us an opportunity to taste a lot of different dishes. And all of them were spectacular. I gotta be honest, the food was spectacular. My eggs Benedict, done perfectly. I like them runny. I like the poached egg to be runny, so that the yolk goes all over the place. And they asked me that up front, how did I want my egg? Did I want it runny or not? And it was great hollandaise sauce, really rich hollandaise sauce with great flavor, just blended together well with everything. So loved my eggs Benedict. They also brought out a selection of flatbreads. The sausage, spicy Italian sausage flatbread was particularly good. Their red sauce that they use here really is fantastic. It's got a great flavor, great depth to it. For my entree, I feel like I had 5 entrees, to be honest with you. I went with the veal saltimbocca. And the Marsala sauce they made for this veal saltimbocca was, you kill yourself. It was so good. So good. So you have that taste of the veal mixed with the sweetness from the Marsala reduction. Just amazing. And then for dessert, they brought everything. Literally everything, multiples of everything. I went with the strawberry basil sorbet though, because it's a staple and it's something I always get, and it's just a delicious sorbet. But overall, I can tell you, from my standpoint, this is as flawless a meal as you're going to get on a cruise ship. The service from Ricardo, who I really highly recommend if you're going to be on the Wonder and you're coming to Palo, ask for Ricardo. The service, he took care of us the other night for dinner, took care of us today for brunch, and you just can't get better service. You can't. And I could not have asked for better meals in Palo. Chef Massimo showed, he redeemed himself from the dream. He absolutely redeemed himself from the dream. And this food has been the highlight of this cruise, especially in comparison to what I've been experiencing in the main dining rooms. Palo has always been a step up, no question. It's cooked to order. But here it's several steps up. Palo itself is very, very good. So you compare that to the mediocrity of the dining rooms. Absolutely made these experiences here this week highlights of the cruise.